Hello and welcome to the APMA podcast. Hope everyone's doing well, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening from. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. We have got
juicy.
a slight. Yeah, it's Jordan is using his speakers today instead of his headphones because they have not been charged. They're on charge now, though. They're on charge now, but I can't hear anything thus far, so
Good.
that should be good. Should be plain sailing. Yeah. I have today come up with the brilliant idea to laugh at criminals. I don't know if that'll tickle everyone's fancy, but I found some stories of some criminals who have had less than a successful time of being a criminal. And I thought we could laugh at their expense and then possibly, depending on time constraints, see about making another dent in that horror tier list. But we'll start with the stories about the criminals just not being that great. The first one I'm going to pop on the screen just to get it rolling. This is, I don't know why you do this, but we'll discuss, I'm sure. So, a man was caught smuggling scissors in a particular location of his body at a jail in Indiana.
No way.
Yeah. Those on screen, that is the pair of scissors in question.
Wow, that's 8.5 inches.
8.5 inches of pure scissor action. Yes. We'll read. A man has been caught apparently trying to smuggle an 8.5-inch pair of scissors into a jail by hiding them in his anus.
Why?
Staff made the discovery as they processed him for a stay at LaPorte County Jail in the U.S. state of Indiana. Officials said the object was identified in a particular or peculiar location after suspicions were raised when the arrested suspect refused to cooperate during a routine search on Wednesday. The man eventually reluctantly agreed to an electronic body scan when the jail's assistant commander of operations, Lieutenant Jeff Holt, observed what appeared to be a foreign object inside the anal cavity of the arrestee. Officials said the man continued to be uncooperative, but a second scan a short while later revealed the object had moved slightly and could be identified as a pair of scissors. A short time later, the scissors were removed from the arrestee without incident, a spokesperson for the jail added. Captain Derek J. Allen from the LaPorte County Sheriff's Office said Lieutenant Holt is commended for relying upon his training and experience and successfully preventing a dangerous edged object from making its way fully into the jail. Authorities did not reveal further details about the man or what he was arrested for. They said that since the full body scanner was first used in the jail in 2017, it had recovered a string of items including tattooing, equipment, drugs, and paraphernalia. You really do have to question why you're trying to smuggle an 8.5-inch pair of scissors up your ass into a jail. It's anyone got any theories? Because I
mean, are shanks that hard to make?
I suppose if you separate it, you got two. So
yeah,
you could possibly sell them on exchange. I don't know.
Most weird thing to take in. The only reason I can think of taking scissors instead of a knife is that perhaps the punishment is less severe.
Maybe.
If you get caught with a knife with regard to a pair of scissors. But yeah, like he's done he hasn't even changed it at all. I assume, I don't know, but he hasn't wrapped the edges up, or at least try to. What you don't really need. You don't need the handles for the scissors, do you? Like take them off, make it easier.
That's true.
Yeah.
Especially if he's had time. I don't know. Just in a weird, like whichever way you put that in, it's not going to come out.
It's not a great time.
Easy. The shape of it is the worst thing I can imagine to.
I mean, I'd imagine he'd try and stretch to get the handles in first rather than putting the blades up first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the blades going up first, you sit down at all.
I suppose. Once the blades out, the shape of that other stuff could potentially. But yeah, just the wrong type of. I can think of better things to
All I can say is that the Laporte County Jail must have a banging arts and craft session
yeah.
That's
to
it.
want to be able to take in some scissors. I'm going
He
to.
also had some glitter and some super glue up there as well.
Yeah. It's just
Oh,
I just don't understand. Like, it's a shame that in the article it doesn't say like what the motivation was.
yeah.
I mean,
What
obviously, probably self-defense, but like I say, like I'm pretty sure shivs are relatively easy to make in prison. So why go through this? And
Yeah.
also, what was he being moved to this jail, or was he just been arrested and he
I think
thought,
he's
"I'll
just
go
been
and receive"?
arrested. Yeah, I think he's just been arrested.
The only thing I can think of then is maybe it was a quick time thing where he just grabbed whatever was nearest to him. He'd been there before. He was like, "Oh, well, I'll take something in." He just grabbed them and thought, "Oh, if I go in with them, maybe thought his
Yeah,
life is in danger." God knows, but like, yeah, the risk to reward doesn't add up for me with that. I love the way they've got their little badge on there as well.
Yeah.
yeah, Sheriff of Indiana. I like the ruler they use.
Yeah. It's
Dare
cool.
to resist
Yeah,
drugs and violence, drug abuse resistance education.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
Brandon is everywhere.
when you get that order through for, I'm assuming, multiple rulers wherever you are, you'd really go, are they really putting that on a ruler? Okay, well, they're paying for it. It's going on a ruler.
I imagine they must have been wrapped or something because
Yeah,
they're just not super
clean.
clean unless they've cleaned them up after.
Yeah.
But also, I guess if you put it in the bag, there's less risk of cutting. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. You wouldn't want that anywhere around that space.
It's just a weird shape at the
Yeah,
end. The handles are just a weird shape. And like you say, you don't need the fucking handles unless you're literally going to use them as scissors.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't even need both blades. You just need one.
yeah,
And like I say, there's multiple things you can make. Toothbrushes have been made into shivs if you really
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do that.
I think
Um,
Fiskars are a good make of scissors. I'll give them that.
Nice.
obviously he's
I think
Titanium.
they're quite robust. Got a nice little screwdriver set.
nice. Well, he's just got a premium set then.
Yeah, he's gone premium.
Yeah. He's gone
And,
premium. That's
and
what you
now
want.
they're somewhere in a police evidence lockup
Yeah.
forever.
That's also scissors, mate. I just need to cut this bit of paper. Yeah, mate.
Am I remembering correctly? You know, when we had Michael on the pod telling us about the stuff, did he say, or was it you, Dan, that said about a mobile phone up the arse and the? Oh no, that was
No,
it. It was an
him.
old
Yeah.
mobile phone. I think you said about the charger. Imagine putting the charger up there.
Yeah, I think someone did, didn't he? He said that he had. Didn't he say that someone? I can remember something to do with wires because that's really
Yeah,
dangerous. Having all the. I'm sure he mentioned someone had the charger up there with the wires.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's mad.
because we were
Brilliant.
discussing we were discussing how big the charger was for the phone potentially.
yeah,
Obviously going back then.
Yeah.
yeah. You'd want to invest in a decent charger that folds into itself,
Yeah,
lightweight and compact. There.
Yeah.
I'd say anything you're putting up your ass, you want to try and get something that folds in or compacts down to
Yeah,
as small as possible.
It's
yeah.
just
Something
so
cylindrical.
unfortunate, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. What has led that man to put in a pair of semi-premium scissors
So
up?
I'm
his ass?
guessing from this and what they're saying, obviously he uses training. I can't remember this. We're speaking to him about prison, but they're not scanning everyone, are they? So there must be a reason. Everyone that goes through it's not an automatic scan, so they must just scan certain individuals.
Yeah,
So
he must have just been really sus.
Yeah.
must have been wiggling about.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he was trying to reach it, when the officer was trying to search his pockets in the back of his trousers or his jeans, he was like really twitching. Like,
Yeah.
right, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure he's got something up his ass. Just letting you guys know.
Because as well, I don't know the scan.
Yeah.
If it's drugs and they're in those little plastic things, the little Kinder Egg things they usually
Yeah.
put in. How do they scan for that?
Yeah, because it's plastic.
Past it, yeah. So
I suppose if they see anything irregular, they'll be
yeah,
like, exam.
yeah. I was listening to somebody. I can't remember what it was, but maybe it's like a podcast or something. But they're saying about how profitable drugs in prison actually are.
Yeah.
When you can get them in, because you've got a captive audience that will pay premium for it. So it's like it's such a lucrative place to sell drugs. And he was just did like some basic maths, and then he was like and worked it out, and it was like in like a quite big prison, and it was like millions a month.
Jesus.
Really? What? So they pay outside of the prison?
Yeah, just the amount that was
Like
going
they
in.
get like their family or whatever to pay an account, or
Yeah, I don't know how it works, or whether I don't know how it works with payment, but I guess there's methods and ways. But if you think about like, so there's like some prisons in the UK and stuff, and it's like most of the prisons are on America. What's that drug that did a massive? It's like makes everyone like a zombie. Spice, yeah. So like loads of people on that spice. I don't know if it's small operations that do it, or whether it goes to a larger one. So I don't know if that's like one big group or gang getting the money, or whether it just be sectioned up into just little groups. But a lot of money, in prison can be made from that.
A whole different economy.
Yeah. But again, captive audience of like people just waiting and will pay over for it.
Yeah, it's crazy to think like, even stuff like from a shop that we take for granted, like maybe a lot of chocolate bar or something. I don't know if there's. I'd imagine there's probably a fairly decent markup in prison for the same thing.
Yeah.
And they obviously.
Yeah. Everything's gonna be premium, isn't it?
It's like, what would cost you like here maybe a quid in a petrol station costs them in jail like 2-3 quid a time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see easily how inflated a price could be for drugs. Who knows? Maybe the scissors were the thing that he was trying to smuggle in, and he got caught on purpose, and he's trying to get them through to someone on the
Cut up
inside.
some packets.
Yeah. Connor Mitchell says maybe he was a tailor by trade, was going to make some sick garms.
This is true.
maybe
It's a possibility. Get those jumpsuits off. Let's move on to some more truly embarrassing stories. I think we got 7 here. No, this is the wrong website.
Oh, that's it.
This is the correct one.
Nice.
I clicked onto the link accidentally. Right, this first one, okay, I'm going to say, and I haven't looked at how to pronounce that, but I'm going to say Mganga. That's what I'm going for. Don't know how you guys feel about that.
I'd say that's right.
Sounds like a song.
Yeah.
That
would fit into a song pretty easily as well. On a Sunday day in March, Mganga, a 17-year-old boy in Omaha, Nebraska, decided to stick a gun in the face of a woman who was taking her son to school, demanding that she give him her car. She, of course, obliged, and the boy was about to take off when he realized that the car had a manual transmission, which he was unable to drive. He tried to fumble around with the controls, but after moving the car only a matter of yards in a few minutes, he decided to bolt on foot, but was eventually caught by the authorities. What level of planning do you think went into that?
Awful.
I know. There's a lot of American people drive automatic vehicles. I think there's more people who drive automatic vehicles per person than here. But you got to think about the contingencies. Surely, what about if it's a manual? Surely,
Yeah, definitely.
Just the
But
thought.
there you go. Justice was served.
That's it. Very, very quickly.
But also, like, if you're going to target, evidently what he's done is he's targeted. He's thought, right, there's a woman here. I'm going to put a gun in her face. Like he's thinking about the target rather than the car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You're thinking about
exactly.
the victim,
Yeah.
sorry, rather than the car. Like a fucking idiot. Like if you're going to carjack someone and you know you can't drive manual, surely you'd scope out the car before you put a gun in their face.
Yeah, I mean, using a gun to do a car robbery
yeah,
is fucking dumb because you're like, you've just quadrupled your
Yeah.
sentence.
yeah. And also the response, as it's in America, if there's a gun involved,
Oh, you
you,
fucked it.
you're like, you are literally a target, just a target at a shooting range. If you even
Yeah.
move an inch with that gun,
Yeah.
it's done, mate.
And
Yeah,
so I imagine from this, that we're 17, so he's like low level, but even when he gets the car, he's probably, I'll be surprised if he's got like a full system to where to take it and get it
Yeah.
and get it like changed and yeah, it just seems like a spur of the minute crime.
yeah,
The fact and that he can't have done it many times because surely knowing that you can't drive stick.
yeah.
I don't know what percentage of Americans use stick, but
I think it's a
this,
very, very small amount.
yeah,
But yeah, it's even if you, I mean, you probably would be able to tell certain from just the outside of the car the chance that it's going to be a manual.
yeah. It's interesting. I remember going to America and one that when I was like 18, whatever, and there's a young lad and he drove stick, and it was like everyone was like, "Oh, he's got a really cool car. He's like, he's cool because he drives stick." Like almost like he's like a rally driver. And
Yeah.
literally all the other kids had automatics.
Yeah,
Not yeah, so it is rare, probably 10-20%. I don't know what it's like now, but definitely then it was the case.
it's just like driving a go kart. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah. But I tell you what, because I've got so Maya's got an automatic car, I've got a manual car, and I'm insured on her car. And it's made me a worse manual driver. I've
oh,
had
really?
times where I'm coming up to a fucking roundabout and I'm just in my head, I'm in the automatic and I don't put my fucking foot on the clutch and I'm slowing down. It goes like, it's like,
Yeah,
fuck,
Yeah. Yeah, you
yeah,
do get
So,
lazier.
it definitely makes you lazier, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Because it is literally, you just put your foot down and then you just, I mean, or if you really want to, you can stick it in cruise control. You can literally just use your hand.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, you know.
I
It's
love
just,
a bit of cruise control.
yeah, just
it
off
is a
you go.
marvelous creation.
I
Cruise
do. I
control.
like it on like like between on the A47. No, on
Yeah,
the
no,
A11. They got that
yeah.
like reduced to 40 bit.
Yes,
Just put it in cruise control at 40. Then you're not gonna fucking go over the limit and get snapped by a camera, but also you just gotta just go into autopilot sort of thing.
yeah,
Remember
But yeah, fucking
James's Range Rover back in the day, and I imagine the new ones have got really good shit, but it was got cruise control, but it would just get on the car in front and it would just keep up their speed. So
oh right,
if
oh
they slowed
wow.
down, it would just tail that, and that's like cruise control on steroids. That's such a good feature though. You could be
yeah.
like super lazy with that.
I remember, because it makes you the opposite as well. If you're a manual driver and you go straight into an automatic car, you're a terrible automatic driver because the chances that you are hitting that brake pedal like it's the clutch are 100%. So there've been a time when I've been asked to move someone's car that's an automatic, literally probably like 3 or 4 yards, and I've accelerated slightly, thinking that there's a clutch there, and I'll go to put the clutch down, and I've braked
Or
so hard.
left foot braking.
Yeah.
That's so. Have you tried to do left foot braking?
Yes, that is incredibly hard.
It's very it's a skill as well that you can get better at, but it's super tricky.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else is weird is pulling off from like junctions and that. I know how to do it now, but like what I didn't realize initially, so I just put my foot down and
Yeah,
there'd
it
be a
does it anyway.
slight delay.
Yeah.
So you have to like do it gradually
Yeah.
or put it in sport mode, which I just tend to do now. But
There we go.
it's fucking automatic. Definitely makes you a worse driver without a doubt.
The automatic are a bit like a diesel, where if you take your foot off, it will start pulling forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to engage. Obviously, there's no clutch, but it'll just start. It'll give you that little, and that sometimes when you put your foot down, it's like fighting against that as well.
Right. Tell you what, hill starts are pissed though. Just the car just sits there.
Yeah.
Just like doesn't even roll back. It's just there.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird thing to get used to.
Yeah. It's also got the automatic transmission, so it switches off at junctions and shit.
Yeah.
I know you can turn that off, but yeah, they're very, very different. They're very different.
I don't know the barrier. I'm guessing. I'd assume you'd have the same test, but just in an automatic. I don't know if you get scored down. Obviously, you don't have to worry about coasting because they ain't going to be in the test if you're driving an automatic car for an automatic test. But yeah, it's such a weird.
Yeah, I don't know in America, because obviously here you have to just pass the normal test, don't you? And then you can choose. But I don't know in America whether it's split or whether you still have to do passing stick and then like here, and then you kind of choose to do automatic, or whether you can just do an automatic test. It seemed weird doing your car test in an automatic.
Yeah, I see loads of people all the time in automatic cars doing. They're obviously learning in an automatic.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, my brother learnt in an automatic, passed in an automatic, could only drive an automatic, then got a job where he needed a van.
Right.
And had to do a manual transmission test and lessons.
That is a scenario then in the UK.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Interesting. I did not know that.
But I just don't see the point. Like learning a manual, then you can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
what's the next one?
Strange.
Derek Mosley. Okay. Planning is hugely important when trying to pull off a crime, and it's essential to the success of the act that every detail will be well thought out through in advance. But Derek Mosley didn't place a very high importance on these things before he decided to rob a gun store armed with only a baseball bat. That is special.
How the fuck?
Seeing as it was a gun shop, the manager pulled a gun on the would-be robber and kept him in the crosshairs until authorities arrived.
What a fucking... I know it's the point of the podcast today, but what a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's like the reverse Uno of the other guy.
Yeah.
You've got overkill and then you've got underkill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that ever going to work?
It's not. It's just not, is it?
It's quite funny, though.
Yeah.
Unless he thought the guy would hand over a gun before reaching for his own.
Again, the planning. These criminals really need to have a little sit down.
Yeah.
Just a bit of planning.
Baseball bat in hand, just like, excuse me, mate. I'll rob your store. And then he goes, I'll have that gun. And the bloke just turns around and goes, you want this one?
Yeah, it just aims at it.
He's like, yes, please. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll just load it up for you.
Yeah.
There's no bullet in there.
You want buckshot?
How do you want to get shot today?
On this topic, I got a mate who's a prison officer or ex-prison officer, and obviously they've all got stories and different things, but they used to give like nicknames to the guys who, and then sometimes that would like pass, stay with them and pass round. But there was one guy, he robbed, I think it was a news agent, but it was an armed robbery. It was with a gun, but they didn't have when they emptied the till. I think they just literally done a pickup with the money, so there was 12p in there.
Oh no!
he got caught, this guy, and but so I think I'm pretty sure the nickname was Dirty Dozen. They nicknamed it. And it's just like obviously he got a substantial amount. I think he got like 15 to 20 years.
Oh,
that's crazy.
So like that's another running joke, is like it's like a penny a year or less.
Oh god,
which is that's
horrendous.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
Out of principle, you just take the 12p.
What you take?
I'm taking it.
Or do you just go, right? This isn't actually a robbery. because I'm not taking anything. You can keep the 12p. I'm going to double your money.
Yeah.
We'll call it quits.
You've
Or you-
actually made on this exchange.
Yeah.
So
You've
I'm off.
doubled your money. So I'm off. I know.
Oh,
It's just
dear,
like that.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, even I know people get desperate in that, but even what best case scenario? What's it going to be like?
Yeah.
Fucking 400 quid in there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And taking the gun in, it's like, anywhere with a gun,
it's so
you're
hard,
talking 15, 20 years, no matter what you're going to do. So if you're going to do
Yeah.
something with a gun, like, I recommend not to, but it's got to be worth $1 million plus. I would,
Yeah.
to even
Yeah.
think about it or entertain it.
Yeah. I mean, you could, in that scenario, when you see there's only 12p in that register, you could be like, right, I'm going to turn into like a white hat hacker and be like, I've tested your security systems.
Yeah.
It seems
Yes.
to be all
Yeah.
well. So I'm going to
Yeah.
leave.
You have done the correct thing. You should never go against the robber. Just let him have the till.
Mate, that's a cracking idea. If
You have passed. Your
Yeah.
certification will be in the post. And then
just have a little badge that you've made
Yeah.
up. Okay,
Yeah.
here's have a certificate in your backpack. Here's
Yeah.
a certificate.
Yeah.
Can you just sign it? Just totally turn it again. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's a plastic gun.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, nothing in there. Not even loaded.
Here's your crime certificate. I'll put it just underneath your hygiene rating on the door.
On that as well, is it still what's the law if you do take a plastic gun? Like the old school ones, like the black one, that's still
Yeah.
you still get a long sentence, don't you, for that?
Yeah, I don't know if you get as long as like an actual gun, but
Yeah,
because the implication is that
imitation.
it looks like a gun,
Yeah.
then yeah. And if
Yeah,
it's
there
used
was that Swedish bank robber in the 70s, 80s. He used to go in with a jacket with a Coke bottle in his jacket,
yeah.
and then
Shotgun.
rob the bank, and then on the way out, give the Coke bottle to one of the people in the bank.
Yeah.
that's quality.
I kind of like things like that. I mean, it's still scary for the people so don't know, but it's like, I like a bit of clever crime.
Yeah, but what I don't get is the ones that like don't cover their face.
Ah,
They just kind of go in and like if I was to rob somewhere, right, I would be like balaclavaed up and that, and I'd probably put on an accent. Like I'd put on like a Scottish accent or something. They'd be like, oh, he had a Scottish accent. So then all of a sudden they're looking for a Scottish person. They're never going to find me.
Never.
That's brilliant.
Well,
just pretend I'm the till guy now, and you're the Scottish guy.
All right.
So you gotta
give me your money. Open up.
Like, where was he from? I don't know, but I think he was crazy. Give me your money.
Oh dear. Oh man. But yeah, that's what I think I'd do. And then you just get away with it. They're just barking up the wrong tree.
Like, would you always put on a Scottish accent, or would you
mix it up?
Yeah.
I'd mix it up. Not in the same heist though, because they'd be like, this guy was fucking
he's a
crazy.
master of the accents.
Like, have you ever seen that movie Split? I think it might have been him.
Definitely him. 5 different accents.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's the way to do it though. I do.
Yeah,
you got
definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it leads brilliantly into the next one, which is Joey Miller and Matthew McNally. These men were behind likely the worst and least thought out disguises in history of the crime. When committing their misdeed, they didn't use masks, hoods, or balaclavas, typical of most criminals, but instead chose to draw on their faces with permanent marker. While it may have made them hard to recognize during the crime, permanent marker is, as the name suggests, notoriously hard to remove, which left the men extremely easy to identify when the police were looking for the culprits. The dumb stunt earned the duo the nickname of Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, that's fucking amazing.
That's exceptional.
That is top tier stupidity.
Fucking hell. So yeah, I kind of get initially where they were going with their thought process that the permanent marker would obscure their faces, but they're not thinking ahead that they can't remove it in time.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
There's an element of planning to it. It's just the
Yeah.
planning ends as soon as the deed is done.
Yeah.
That's
Like
it.
these things, I'm like, if you're gonna plan it, like surely you go, yeah, let's get some makeup, let's get some balaclavas, let's get some like, because if you get caught, you're gonna spend a long time in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's ridiculous. That's what I was going to say just before this one started. Was it someone that you went to school with, Lozzie?
I was going to bring this up.
Was it a bookies or was it a corner shop?
Mate, it was both. Well, it was a bookies, and then he went next door into a kebab shop.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
And then walked over the road into his house, and then the police arrested him.
Quality. People said he was astounded that he got caught. Astounded.
Someone that you went to school with, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was different. I'll put it that way. I do remember him. Someone dared him to start licking piss on the floor in the toilets, and he started doing it. That sort of guy. There you go.
There's no hope for him, really.
Yeah.
At that point, he was destined to rob a bookies across the road from his house. Did he
And
put?
the kebab
Was he
shop.
like disguised? I can't
I have
remember that.
no idea. I highly doubt it, considering how quickly he was caught. But at the same time, they could have just literally just asked, "Well, where did he go?" And it was just across that house over there, officer.
Why would you target the bookies over the road and then go into the kebab shop next door for a kebab and then go home?
Yeah, it's a perfect crime. It really is. Yeah, I've just lost. I've put 20
maybe you
quid.
thought, "Look, if I just hide in plain sight, they'd be
Yeah.
like, there's no way you would go into the kebab shop next door."
That's a different level of plain sight, though, isn't it? It's like, I've just lost the 3:15 at Kempton. I put 20 quid down, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna rob this for everything I got. I'm gonna go next door, get a kebab, then off home.
Oh dear.
Jesus.
My mate, when we were young, he robbed the bakery next door to his house.
Really?
Yeah, but give him his due. Where we lived at the time, there's no police, and the closest police were half an hour away.
Oh, right.
Oh, really?
So it's like from the moment you got in there, even if someone saw you, whatever, you'd have half an hour before
Yeah.
they even got there, and that's if they were like on the ball.
Yeah.
But,
Crazy.
Did he get
door.
caught?
No. He got.
Did he rob pastries or did he rob money?
They didn't have all of them. He's got a mixture of both. It's bad, and I feel bad for this. I'm sorry to the bakery store, but we were outside and we were telling him what to get, like with the pastry.
Oh, damn!
Awful. I'm sorry.
Right, you want to get?
But it wasn't like he didn't smash it up or do anything. He just took some pastries and
Jesus.
what else did he take? I think there's no like money or anything in the till.
Oh,
So I think he just took like some bits that were on the side. Nothing. Probably like 20 quid's worth. You know what I mean? It wasn't a lot, but
Yeah.
they didn't even, back then in those days didn't have alarms or anything on it. But it was just funny him in there, like it was like he was serving us stuff. Like, what do you want this? And he was like, one of them.
When I was a kid, I mean, admittedly, this is innocent because I was like 6, but I was in the Esso garage with my mum, and I was stood at the magazine bit, and basically it was like, the magazines that come in like a plastic like wrapper because they've got another thing inside.
yeah.
Well, they had another. It was like a PlayStation like cheat book that had free written on the.
Yeah.
Free little mini cheat book that you got with this magazine. While my mum was paying, I've opened this plastic seal, taken the free book out, then walked outside from her mum, got in the car, and then gone to mum. Like, she's like, "Where the hell did you get that from?" It's like, "Oh, it's free. I got it from in there." And she was, I think we just drove off because she was like, "How the fuck do I explain this?"
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, fair play.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
so
technically,
I've been a thief since the age of
you know,
6.
that was their fault.
Yeah,
That's it. That's mis-selling.
Yeah.
that has been labelled incorrectly. So therefore, I shall keep the free item that you
Yeah.
promised.
And it had like pictures. I remember it had a picture of the game Medieval, that where you were like that skeleton guy with the one eye. Anyway, it was like a black and white. It wasn't like printed in color; it was black and white. So I turned it into a coloring book.
Get out! Didn't even use
That's
it.
it. So I vandalized the item that I stole.
Nice.
But yeah.
Ashton Mitchell, this is regards the pastry theft. He says, I've heard some silly criminal stories, but that one really takes the cake. I'll see myself out.
Oh, that's it.
It's got to be done. This next one is just amazing. In August, Klaus Schmidt is the guy's name.
Nice.
In August of 1995, a man in Berlin decided to rob a bank with a handgun. Now, this acted out like a pretty standard bank robbery until the tellers asked him, "Do you need a bag?" To which Schmidt responded, "You're damn right, it's a real gun." This made it obvious to the tellers that the robber was deaf. With this new realization, they sounded the alarm, which notified the police, while Schmidt was none the wiser. In a funny twist, Schmidt later sued the bank for apparently abusing his disability.
No.
Oh dear.
That's brilliant.
That's.
Yeah,
I hope
mean,
if he successfully sued them, that's incredible.
That is amazing.
I wonder if it actually went down exactly like that, because you think you'd want to ask a few more questions just to confirm he's properly deaf.
Yeah.
Like, he could just be,
Nervous,
misheard you or
like a little
nervous, or
slip.
just, yeah. So, do you need a
I mean, yeah.
bag? You're damn right,
The relief when you press that alarm and he doesn't go like,
Yeah, imagine
yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh yeah, imagine, because then all of a sudden you get a bullet in the head.
So funny.
"What have you done?"
Schmidt later
Yeah.
sued the bank for apparently abusing his disability. That's fucking nuts.
That
If
is
he
nuts.
won that, man,
Yeah,
what a precedent that sets.
That's an Uno reverse and a half.
That is.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. I think you waiver your right to sue anyone.
Yeah, if you're committing a crime,
like
yeah.
within reason. There's always boundaries in there with different stuff, but that certain instant, no way.
I'm surprised that happened in 1995 because that is 100% what I'd expect to happen present day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, in 1995,
he was ahead of his time.
Yeah,
I see it. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh,
I saw an article the other day talking about disabilities. There's apparently this is a thing now, but this woman, she identifies as a disabled person.
Right.
But she's not.
She's fully like able-bodied.
So she identifies as disabled. So apparently it's a disease that some people have. But yeah, so she goes around in a wheelchair and all this stuff. But then occasionally she will get up and walk
when it's inconvenient for her. How
fucking
disrespectful!
I mean, exactly. That is 100% my view on it. Like the disrespect. I don't know what the terminology is called, but it is a disease, apparently.
Cuntitis.
Throw that in there.
Jesus.
I'd imagine you get the same feeling watching someone able-bodied come out of a clearly disabled toilet. But then again, not all disabilities are visible.
No, 100%, yeah. And then this is just she identifies as someone in a wheelchair.
That's new level, though. That's next level, isn't it?
And has a wheelchair and goes around as if she's disabled, but then has the option to just get up on both her legs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Back to weird crimes. Ben Turner in the chat says there was a guy in my area who kept trying to steal slate off roofs in broad daylight and got caught every time.
What are you doing up there, mate? Just a bit of maintenance. Yeah, you're taking the tiles
That's
off.
my house. Oh,
It might have been on my roof because my fucking tiles come off.
oh no.
He might have been up there. Is he
Singular
still? Is he
time.
still active? Is he still about?
That's it.
He's always active. He never
Sweet.
lets up.
They kept
Perhaps he's trying to build a.
Also, just back to when we were talking about I think it's the currencies in prison and the price of drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
Connor Mitchell said, "I went into Home House in Stockton-on-Tees for 6 months as a screw." He wants to clarify, and they used to use OXO cubes as a currency.
What the fuck?
Nice.
OXO cubes.
I guess yeah. I mean, I guess it has some uses, doesn't it?
Yeah, most currencies, come from that, don't they? They come from like it used to be like potatoes or whatever. It comes from like
cigarettes.
Cigarettes, OXO cubes. I mean, imagine it. I think there's a place in Africa, or there was, where they would use like, I think it's beer bottle caps as like a currency, and it was like quite stable. And it'd go around, and then all of a sudden, someone kind of went in there and just like took a load and just flooded it.
Jesus.
So like obviously mess up all the a bit like what they do.
Because that is all currency is, isn't it?
So it is, mate. Yeah, it's
just applying value to an
an
item or a piece of material.
100%. And then when you when you print a load, what someone said, which I found interesting the other day, and I never thought about this, is like money. When they're like, you say like you spend money, or like money goes, like money doesn't go anywhere. Like all money flows, so it doesn't go anywhere. So the amount of money, no money disappears because it goes somewhere. So it just moves and it flows.
But there is money that doesn't exist in the form of interest.
Yes,
there's more debt. You couldn't pay all the debt in the world because there's not enough money because the money doesn't exist.
Well, there's that. Money's made up anyway. The banks can make it up. They can, and also there's only like 2% in the UK of the actual money.
Really, money. That little?
It's tiny compared to obviously it's all digital. So like, if everyone was to go in and actually collect their cash, the whole system would break down.
Yeah,
that's what they're absolutely petrified of.
In America, isn't it? Just recently.
Yeah, it happened several times.
Well, that's what happened with the Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast on that.
Yeah, so they cashed in on. Well, they got a load of government bonds, I think, at a high interest rate, but then there's massive penalties for closing them early. And as soon as you get panic,
spreads.
It spreads, and then they keep cashing in on these government bonds, and then they're fucked then because they've got all their positive cash flows gone.
Yeah.
So Google the top 10 banks with the most money. Put your money in the top ones.
That's what it will devolve down to. Is the biggest banks will have all the customer base because all the smaller ones.
Yeah.
What is the top 10 banks with
you
money?
You can go UK or Europe. Yeah, Santander is a pretty good one.
What's Lloyd's doing?
I think Barclays are quite high up there.
Barclays, Royal Bank of Scotland, Lloyd's Banking Group, Starling Bank, Standard Chartered, Nationwide, Santander, HSBC.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in that order.
No.
Here we go. This is the order. Right. HSBC's top, Lloyd's are second, Royal Bank of Scotland third, Barclays fourth, Standard Chartered fifth, Santander sixth, Nationwide seventh, Schroders eighth, Close Brothers Group ninth, Coventry Building Society is 10th.
Nice, good old Coventry shout out.
Close Brothers is an interesting one because so if you ever get car insurance or car finance or anything, most of the time it's through Close Brothers.
Really?
Especially if you pay installments. If you pay installments on most stuff like car insurance, it's always like through Close Brothers.
No way.
They're like really common lender for that. And they own a lot of other banks. But I don't know if there's an actual physical Close Brothers bank. I've never seen one.
No, I've not seen one or heard of one either.
But imagine they're pretty cash rich because their
Fucking-
interest is high.
Yeah. Mad.
It's crazy because I can't remember what it was. An American investor. Somebody who goes on a lot of podcasts. It might have been Grant Cardone. I don't know. I can't remember. But he said not only is it really hard to get your money out of the bank if you're trying to take a substantial amount.
Yeah.
He said you go and try and give the bank say 100 grand in cash, they will shut the bank down and
Yeah.
be like,
This was Grant Cardone's brother.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
right,
was. Yeah, on the Brad Lee podcast.
yeah, they shut the bank down. They'll be like, why are you giving us? We don't want this money. Why are you doing that?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I
anything
remember
over
seeing
10
that clip and thinking, "Fuck me, Grant Cardone's aged. What's happened here? I didn't realize he had a
it's
brother.
his twin brother.
Is his twin?
Pretty sure it's his twin. I'm not even.
Fucking hell, he looks about 10 years older.
Yeah.
15, 20. Man. Crazy.
Yeah, for anything over 10 grand, that's the what's the word? Like the money laundering threshold.
Yeah.
So they have a load of procedures after 10 grand. Keep it under 10.
Pain in the ass.
There's talk in America of reducing that to £600.
That like
Or
that's
$600, right?
Yeah, it does not surprise me because again, it's just a control thing, and it make it more difficult. Even all the banks now, like for instance, we had a bank, or we've got our bank, Hobo Jack, whatever, and we've had it for so long, and all that money's gone through it, and you've got all the history, and then and now they've got different bits of information they need, so they're like asking you for like all this information you have to provide, and it's like, well, we've had this account 10 years. It's the same for all businesses, any business account, and you have to provide all this information. They even write a business plan, so we've been going for 10 years. Like, and that wasn't like individual. I've noticed it on other businesses and known other people that have to do it. It's like, why are we giving a business plan? I literally just said no. I was like, look at the accounts for 10 years. Like, that's your business plan.
Yeah.
And they're like, because a business plan is fictitious anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and check GPT and just write one out, and it's like, it's the stupidest thing ever to ask for. Yeah, especially when you've had a business going for 10 years. It's like, what are you doing? And they were just like, oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
I was being a dick.
Yeah, sorry.
You might understand it a bit more if you'd literally just been with.
That's what I mean. But that's what, business plan is for, like, and even then, it's fucking stupid. Like, I guess the only sense I can make from it is that it's like, at least putting some thought and process into it, but to actually draw any numbers from it, like, just at that point when you're doing a business plan, you're just making it up. It's all in your head. Obviously, if you want to be as profitable as you can, like, so you're not going to go, I've hit my business plan threshold, I'm not going to do any more.
Crazy. Well, we'll do for the last 10 minutes or so. We'll do a little Q&A section.
Nice,
I'm glad, and I hope that we answer Mid-South Drones Photography's question.
We will be.
That's a great question.
One just before that. Actually, no, there's two just before
we've
that.
Got two. Yeah.
Thomas Thorley asks, you guys got any plans to do a paranormal investigation in the States?
I mean, I would love to eventually. Fucking hell. Without a doubt. Currently in talks. We've created a pilot basically for a Snapchat series. Purely the paranormal investigation stuff. Now, the benefit, I don't know how much I can actually say, but the benefit of that is there would be some funding for locations.
Cool.
And so something like that is something that I would definitely want to do. But obviously the pilot has got the Snapchat basically got to like the pilot, but the pilot is made out of the Ancient Ram in video. So I couldn't be more confident. But you never know with these big wigs and all their creative knowledge.
Yeah, to
Sarcasm. But yeah.
to go to the what do they call it, the Mothman convention as well.
Yeah, Point Pleasant in West Virginia. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
That would be epic.
Next question from Ben Bolton: are you guys still going to do the car boot style video? I think we're all
Definitely.
pretty.
We can definitely still do
in on
that. I might hit one up on Sunday actually.
Yeah, I think I'm doing one Sunday.
Oh, brilliant!
Oh, nice.
So I can film some bits of that.
And I mean, what sort of like, so is it sort of like it would be like, this is what we bought. You didn't have to necessarily film at the car boot. It could be like, right, I bought this from the car boot, this, and this. It costs this much. Then we go to eBay.
Yeah.
And then see how much, and then basically as a winner as to who got the most profit.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. I'm there Sunday anyway. So what should we say? Like 50 to 100 quid budget or whatever, and then we can all have a different budget. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Because at the end of the day, if you buy something for a £5 and sell it for 70 quid,
happy days,
banging. Yeah, I think that's an idea we're all happy with doing. It would be cool to get kind of like the opposite side to buying. Maybe you, like you say, just film a little bit of.
I could film. Yeah. I've got my my little strap with my GoPro on, so I'll set that up for a bit, and that'd just be quite funny.
Yeah.
Next one from Mid-South Drone.
This is a great question.
I'm an American in England currently. Greg's sausage roll, kebab, fish and chips, and a Weatherspoon. What else do I need to try to become full British?
So you've done Greg's sausage roll, kebab, chips.
Sunday dinner?
Roast.
Yes, a roast.
Yeah.
You need to go to a carvery.
Yes. Carvery. Yeah. Toby carvery.
Carvery on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Toby carvery if you're feeling dutty.
I mean, he has mentioned Weatherspoons, but I don't think you need full English. Like
full English.
Yeah.
Like that is essential to get in the crew.
What's the fucking curry that was technically made here? Is it the korma?
I don't know if it's tikka masala or not.
Tikka masala?
Yeah, well, a lot of Indian food is actually, it's just westernized, isn't it? So it's a lot of it as is wet, and a lot of those is dry.
Yeah,
spices and stuff.
Maybe try a little tikka masala.
Yeah, some of the things in there that we're claiming. I mean, fish, kebab, kebab.
The Turkish kebab.
The Turkish kebab, sausage. Weatherspoons, just fucking a mixed match of all sorts of weird stuff. Yeah, full English.
Definitely.
Sunday roast.
Yeah.
Do they have Sunday roast in like America? Thanksgiving, don't they? A Sunday roast in America, but like I don't know,
mate. But their gravy is beige, so
yeah, it's more like chicken gravy, isn't it?
Scared.
Have you used the OXO cubes from the prison?
That's it. Get yourself down to a Toby carvery or any carvery, but do you know what I mean?
I don't think they do. I don't think they embrace that Sunday roast. I think they just have like they have Thanksgiving, and they kind of do a job then.
Yeah.
I do like an American breakfast. It's like pancakes and.
I like what they do with hash browns. They like shred them.
Oh, okay.
I see.
It's like a lattice, and then I mean, fucking hell, I would never think. I think I had like a bacon fucking sandwich or some shit like that, right? Egg, and then it had syrup on top, and I just thought this is not going to work, and it was the most delicious thing I've eaten for breakfast.
Fair play.
Just like putting that syrup on everything, man. It's for breakfast, but fucking hell, on the toasted sandwich, it was very, very good.
One thing I'll give Americans when it comes to food is like their barbecue game.
Yeah.
Like their meat and their barbecue game is just fucking on point. Yeah, they have full-on smokers, big like T-bones, fucking. They just go to town, don't they, on that? And their barbecue games next level.
Yeah.
Like smashes us out of the water.
Greg Thompson says, "Have you seen the new Photoshop AI?" I have not. Have you seen it? What is it? What is it like?
I've seen that it exists. I haven't seen what it actually is. Is it in Photoshop now?
So I've seen clips of it, and again, I don't know where the source from the clips are because there's so much stuff popping up. But from what I've seen, is like you can take a section. Say you have a photo, you can like you can highlight a section like you can in normal Photoshop, and then you've got like a search bar, and then you can put like add a deer or add a light or add whatever, and then it'll fill that in, but it'll give you options at the bottom of different like 4 or 5 options that you can pick the best one. And I imagine from that you can be like, you can pick that and you go, yeah, do this or do that, so I slightly change it. But again, I don't know.
It's kind of like a variation of Midjourney, but just a bit more applied to Photoshop, where you can
yeah. And so like on that's what I saw, and I don't know whether that is legit. You know, sometimes you get these videos and you click on it and it's for something else, or whatever.
Yeah,
but it was saying that's what it is. So I hope that's what it is. But it had all the Photoshop logo and everything, so it looked legit. But it looked fucking cool. It was like, shit, man, you can do some damage in there, because it's not only you dragging an image in, you're like, it's giving you all the tones and depth and the shade and the angles.
Well, that's fucking sick.
Just to follow that up, Greg says exactly, Loz looks a lot more user friendly to operate.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting, especially with thumbnails and stuff.
So with that, it's Greg. I don't know if you can confirm it that is the case, and what I've seen is correct. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Because like AI is already, you know, it's funnily enough, I've got a friend who's a freelance editor, and he edits for a lot of big YouTubers, and we were having this chat because he uses Final Cut, which is Apple's, and I use Premiere Pro, and Greg said, Dan, that is right. Yeah, that is right. Excellent. And one of the things that is time consuming for him is he has to manually make captions, whereas on Adobe Premiere Pro, it's now AI. Like, what can take on Final Cut to do captions 2 hours, I can do in about 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
It's not always accurate. I have to go through the video, sometimes change a few words, but ultimately, like, it is infinitely faster.
Yeah.
Infinitely faster, you know, to a point where it's just like it's just such a massive convenience, you know. It's fucking crazy.
Is that AI doing that as well?
Yes, AI generated captions.
So like that, I imagine, it makes sense. That will learn and get better. So every time you change something and it clocks your voice and what you're putting, it'll be like, okay, next time. So like that will just keep getting smoother and smoother.
Yeah, absolutely. I made, bless him, I made a reel for Facebook out of one of the clips from, funny enough, we mentioned him earlier, the pod with Mike, the prison one.
Oh yeah.
Mate, AI could not register what he was saying. Like, it was saying some wild shit, and I was like, that is not what he just said. Like, it's just like,
that could be a good little clip.
It affects my speech though, because I now, when I record, I actively try to be clearer and speak a little bit more like this, so that it can articulate each of the words, you know, rather than how I would normally speak, because I just can't be asked to change what it puts.
That's a good trait.
Yeah.
It's
improving speech.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I definitely need that.
But yeah, Mike, I think he's a phenomenal storyteller. I love his voice, but like, AI was not getting on well with him.
Mate, it would be funny to have. It would be funny to have them up. So like, have a correct one, and then the AI.
And then, the original
like you could. it'd be funny, like some of the words, if they're completely wrong, you could just do little flashes of like a funny image or whatever. I don't know. You say something and then it just shows one of those weird things. It would just be funny, the story that AI is coming out with compared to the actual story.
Yeah, definitely. Fucking
Dear me.
because some of the shit. One thing it never understands is at the end when I say "sweet one geese." It's
Yeah.
every time it's something different, and I have thought about leaving that in because
That would be funny, yeah. That'd be
every time it's different.
Yeah. If that's make a thing of it, because that would be. It's just funny, and then
Yeah.
even if you had a picture of whatever it's saying, just have a picture of that flash up.
Yeah,
Sweet one cheese.
Sweet one cheese.
I think
Big
the last
block
one it
cheese.
said "sweet white guys."
I
I was like, "That's not what I just said at all."
That's really not.
Sweet white guys. I mean, Google that.
And it thinks that I am Duty Rhino, Duty.
Nice. Duty
Yeah.
Rhino.
Duty
Again,
Rhino.
that's funny.
Yeah,
The Duty
Duty
Rhino.
Rhino. Fucking,
It's better than
it's not perfect, but it is fucking fast.
Dudley Rhino.
Oof.
That's better than that. Right, we'll do one more, and then we will close the podcast out. Which one do I pick? Let's go for this one. This one's probably not going to be great for Jordan. It's a completely different topic, but me and my mates were debating the best beer yesterday. I say it's Marjorie. What are your guys' opinions?
Well, I'll get mine out of the way. As everyone knows, I don't like beer. However, I tried the other day a alcohol-free Corona,
Right. That's just.
and it was really nice because it didn't. I
Yeah.
don't like that like aftertaste you get, and it just didn't have it. So I was like, yeah, this is probably the best beer I've ever drank, and it's alcohol-free Corona.
That was literally going to be my next conversation. I was like, yeah, because I've been off beer for what now? It's almost 6 months.
Nice.
I've been trying them all.
Yeah,
which is I quite like doing that. It's quite nice. So I've been trying all that, and my best one so far is the Corona. It's so good.
Yeah,
and
it's nice. It's just really nice,
refreshing.
Yeah.
So mine is non-alcoholic Corona. I do like Madrid though. That is, must admit, I skip the pub. It's Spanish in it off Madrid, and that's where they're going with it. I do like that. So I don't know if they're doing a non-alcoholic version. I'm gonna have to have a look.
They must do.
They
must have one coming out soon, surely.
Yeah, it's not. I've not seen it in any of the bars. Even the Corona Zero is not that common, but my local budget sells it, and that's been my go-to recently. Yeah, it's nice. I look forward to it. Almost get a placebo now.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like, I almost forget because I've been drinking them for 6 months. I almost I'm like, oh, I can't wait to have a nice beer. But it's just zero. So yeah, it's weird.
You just can't. Your mind completely forgets, and you just come stumbling out of the bar 4 hours later, and then you're like, "Hang on a minute, it was alcohol," and then you just like completely up.
But I do get this. I do get like if I'm drinking with someone, they get like you're chatting and you're having a laugh, and like you're going through this exactly the same thing that you go through, and then, but then like they say, you jump into your car and drive, and you're totally sober, and it's like, that's weird. This is weird. I've been at the pub doing this process, and like, well, you know, obviously they're not the same, but like there is a realization when you have to do something sober.
Yeah. I must say I haven't tried the 0% Corona. I must give it a go. I do like normal Corona. I do like Madri. I also quite like Estrella. Not particularly popular, I don't think, with a lot of people, but Estrella's nice.
You used to drink what's the one where you have an orange slice in it?
Oh yeah, Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
Yeah, that's nice as well.
What's that all about? That is the only. What the fuck is that about? Why a slice of orange?
I don't know why or how it happened, but I do recommend it.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, I wouldn't say I don't go. I wouldn't say and like have it every single time. It's like that nice. It's the only beer I'm going to drink for the rest of my life. But it's nice. It's nice, refreshing to have a bit of fruit in it. You get some beers with fruity notes anyway. So
Yeah.
a
What
bit
I
orange.
can't quite wrap my around at the minute, and maybe someone who's into it has a different opinion, but like non-alcoholic gin or non-alcoholic spirits, like because I suppose there are some of them I like the taste, but like gin for me has never really got a taste.
No.
And I'm not too sure why they do a non-alcoholic version, because for me, when you have spirits, it's just it's like a quicker way to get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm not apart from like whiskey or whatever. I'm not too sure many people are really savouring the taste. They're just like, what do I like the most out of those that I can like slam down and get drunk?
Yeah. Yeah.
So to have a non-alcoholic.
Because the reason I tried the alcohol-free Corona was because my girlfriend's dad has stopped drinking, and his birthday's the day before mine, and we got him a bottle of alcohol-free whiskey because he likes drinking whiskey like neat.
Oh, okay, yeah,
He actually collects whiskey as well, which I didn't realize how lucrative that is. Like like fucking hell,
very,
like,
very
like that.
Crazy.
But yeah, he tried it.
Yeah.
Alcohol-free. I mean, I think
threw it back at you.
Alcohol-free whiskey is diabolical. Like, it shouldn't exist.
Did you try some?
I smelt it.
Yeah.
But he, as a whiskey fan, was like, I would love to pretend that this is nice, but I just can't. I appreciate the honesty.
That's interesting. Again, that's the whole point of whiskey is like it aging and it going through that process, and it's like to have non-alcoholic whiskey is like that's just very strange.
Yeah.
Even the gin thing I don't get. Maybe if there was like some rums.
Yeah.
But again, I don't with spirits and that, I've never really got something. I do like rum actually, but it's like I've never really got anything. I just love that. Whereas beer, I do like the taste of beer.
Yeah, I quite like the taste of beer.
It's that aftertaste I can't be dealing with.
Yeah, you don't get that through the non-alcoholic one. So
no, you don't. Right. I was so pleasantly surprised because I was waiting for it, and I was like, "Oh, it just never came."
Yeah, it just doesn't count. Yeah, so like, you might be just getting to non-alcoholics, and I was trying to Google, can you get like addicted to? Because I've had a lot more.
You are a non-alcoholic.
I'm 100% addicted to the 0% alcoholic beers.
Yeah, the habit of it. I've got fucking loads of those.
Oh well, I think we'll call it there. It's been an enjoyable podcast talking about crime, the lack of success in crime, and it really doesn't pay. Yeah, don't go into your next door Torrell and then go to the kebab and then go home afterwards. It's probably not going to work out, you know. But yeah, thanks for joining us wherever you're watching or listening from. We'll see you in the next one. Up the APMA. Bye bye for now. See you later.
Later.